And right now, the mother of Sergeant Hassan Correa joins us, Madeline Brame, the chairwoman of the Victims' Rights Reform Council. Great of you to be here. Thank you so much. One of the individuals who killed your son is already out on the street.
Yes.
What about your reception today?
Well, today was an example, and now I understand better why Washington and why the country is so dysfunctional, because of the complete division, literally, all right, divided down the middle, cannot agree on anything. One side deflecting and blaming, the other side trying to be reasonable and common sense and focus, all right? And the other side is being insulting, okay, being rude, being condescending, you know, patronizing the victims, you know, like if we are don't know what's really going on. I felt insulted, actually. You know, my intelligence was insulted by what's his name, Goldman.
Well,
yeah.
I don't think the audience will believe, Madeline, the way that you were spoken to.
Yeah.
So let them hear some what was said to you today.
Yes.
Listen to this.
Ms. Brame, you failed to note that as a result of D.A. Bragg's prosecution, 2 men are currently serving life sentences for the murder of your son.
I fear that you are being used for a political purpose despite your sincerity.
This is a sham hearing. It's not about crime in New York. The Republican witnesses who have used their time to criticize District Attorney Bragg have served as props in a MAGA Broadway production.
Your experiences are devastating. But the problem is that this is a charade to cover up for an abuse of power
Can I
in New
respond
York
to
City.
you, please?
No, not right now, because I only have 20 seconds.
Madeline, I was a member of Congress for 9 years, and I'm going to tell you what, I'm embarrassed to have served with members like that who would treat you so poorly. It's okay to have a disagreement with you and Alvin Bragg, but to be so disrespectful to you, to call you coming out and talking about your son for political purposes or a sham hearing or call it a charade is outrageous. How do you respond to these members of Congress who are so rude and demeaning to the loss that you've suffered from your son?
Well, I would challenge any one of them, okay, to go down to the morgue with one of the mothers when they are called down there to identify their dead child's body. Or go to the funeral parlor and lean over into the casket and watch them close that hood down on your child and you know that they're getting ready to go into the ground. Or go to Harlem Hospital, go to Kings County Hospital and stand by a mother's bedside while she prays and cries through the night and hoping that her child survives after being shot, stabbed, or assaulted, all right? Step foot in the hood, all right? And then tell me that it's a sham. All right? What it is it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. There are millions of law-abiding, tax-paying citizens, voters that live in these communities, okay? And it's not right that we are neglected the way that we've been neglected generation after generation. And it's time for the people in black and brown communities to leave the plantation of the Democratic Party, or else it's going to do nothing but continue on and on and on.
Madeline, I want to ask you, though, today, this news, and you're up on this, because you're not just fighting for the victims. You're not just fighting for the families of victims. You're fighting for every citizen.
Everyone.
Everybody who lives in these communities.
Everyone.
You've been fighting for a reversal of this bail reform because I have talked about you. I have read your words. I have listened to your message. And we got news that the Democrats in Albany, along with Kathy Hochul, had reached a deal on bail reform. And it appears as if that they're trying to eliminate the most kind of restrictive, controversial bail measure to impose, which imposes the least restrictive standards to ensure people return to court. So reading into this, what do you make of this? Is it enough?
Absolutely not. You know, I would say directly to Andrea Stewart Cousins and directly to Carl Hasty, stop picking at the low-hanging fruit. Get in there and climb that tree, okay, and fix the stuff that really needs to be done. Actually, I would go a step further. Put that garbage through the shredder, okay, and start over from scratch. All right, put some real major investments. If you want to reform something, it's going to mean major investments and not into violence interrupter programs, all right? Not into credible messaging. Refund our police. Put our cops back in there. Put them plain clothes back in there. Fix that dilapidated housing, them failing schools, all right? Create some real job opportunities, some real educational to help our communities lift themselves up out of poverty. And directly to the Black and brown community, you guys need to start taking responsibility for your own actions and stop being so dependent on a government and a system to take care of you. Stand on your own 2 feet and help raise yourself up out of the conditions, because we cannot continue to blame the white man and the Republicans for everything that's happening to us.
Okay, that's so powerfully said, Madeline. And you know, a lot of people are met with tragedy like you've been met, and they don't know what to do. But here you've channeled your energy into action in the Victims' Rights Reform Council.
Yes.
What are you doing with the council, and how can people help you make the change that you want to make in your community?
What we're doing at Victims' Rights Reform Council actually was started because I found myself having difficulty navigating the criminal justice system, trying to get justice, from the detective piece to the, and all of that, all right? And I know that if I'm going through this, then everyone else is going through. So part of the services that we offer is we help, we assign court buddies to mothers and families who reach out to us and need someone to come to court with them, help navigate through the court system. We also advocate and lobby for policies that will strengthen and protect the rights for victims of all crimes, not just gun violence, because a gun is a useless piece of steel without the mindset behind the trigger, all right? So we focus on victims of all crime. My son was stabbed to death, not shot to death, all right? But he's still just as dead as everyone else that was murdered. So you can reach me at www.victimsrightsreformcouncil.org. You can find resources. You can connect with court buddies. You can send messages and I will respond back to you as soon as possible. Or if you just want to share your story with other victims of crime. And also, please don't forget to hit the donate button, because it costs money for us to continue to do the work that we're doing. And I appreciate you and I thank you so much.
Matt, let me tell you what, I'm sure I was a prosecutor for also 10 years. And the fact that New York State and other states have rolled back the rights of victims. This was a foregone conclusion, the rights of victims in the court process, and that you're back fighting to get victims give them a seat at the table, to talk about what's happened to them, to talk about their loved ones that have been victimized.
That's right.
Is shameful for what they've done in New York City, because this used to be the standard. You're trying to bring it back, and God bless you for speaking out and having such a powerful and forceful voice.
They coddle the criminals,
Yes,
and treat the victims like detritus.
One quick footnote, okay? We've reached out to the Democrats and the progressives, all right? From the mayor to the governor to the, Attorney General, all the gun violence organizations, all of that, okay? They shunned me, they ostracized me, they shut me out. They turned their nose up at me and told me to make your own table, okay? Because my son was stabbed to death and not shot to death. My story did not fit their narrative. At the end of the day, they're taking my tax dollars, all right, to keep their doors open, all right? So until they can show us some measurable outcomes of effectiveness of what they're doing with our tax dollars, okay, I'm calling on the federal government, any federal dollar that's being allocated to them. Look into that. Look how they're spending our money, all right? Make them account for it. Make them account.
Madeline Brame, the mother of Sergeant Hassan Correa. We pray for you.
Thank you so much.
And we pray for the families of every victim, and we pray for every victim here and across this nation. You come back.
I will.
Sergeant Hassan is proud of his mother. I'll tell you that. Thank you.
We're proud of you.